Yeah. Someone just asked a question I thought was interesting about death anxiety. I think there are many people who have a lot of anxiety about death and dying. And she just asked for maybe a couple words from both of you about, how you might reassure her that maybe death is not as frightening as many of us think.
Well, I'd say that's a complex one because you have to ask people, first of all, what is it about death that you fear? Some people fear like it might be painful. Other people fear hell, right? Or many people just fear the unknown. And so you have to sort of, or separation from loved ones. That's the first thing, but it's a common thing to be anxious about death. And I think it's a lifelong quest, really. Plato said it was. He said, philosophy is a rehearsal for dying. And I think you have to think about these kinds of things all your life.
Yeah, do William.
Yeah. So, as Raymond said so well, I mean, fear of death, anxiety about death is a very natural human phenomena. And so we need to have compassion for ourselves and others who get nervous and scared and upset and act out in strange ways around death. We see this a lot at the end of life where someone is dying and it's pretty clear they're going to die. And yet the loved ones aren't ready for them to die. So they engage in a lot of behaviors that prolong their life that may not be in benefit to the dying in terms of their quality of life. If they're going to, it doesn't really make sense that we keep people here longer than they need to be. If they're going to die, then maybe the goal is to really deal with that anxiety and allow people to die in more natural ways. I will say this, both the shared death experience and near-death experience, the experiencers in research across the board strongly suggest that people's anxiety and fear of death diminishes greatly. I dare say alleviates in most cases almost completely. I am one of those people. You get near-death experiencers together and we'll all say, yeah, I'm not afraid of death. I'm really at peace with it. Part of the reason for that is, and particularly in the shared death experience, is that experiencers will say, and we have this in our research, they say that they know that their loved one is alive and well in a benevolent afterlife and that they'll see them again, and that brings them great peace. And they understand that death is a natural part of life, and the human existence fits inside a larger context of existence. And so human birth and human death are natural. It's painful. You're always going to miss a loved one. But with these experiences, especially when you study them and get to know them, they will have that effect of loosening or softening your anxiety and fear around death.